waiting for that. Whatever the ruling comes out.
That shit ain't gonna be nothing.
I do think it's good.
She got charged with something.
No. She's suing her.
They're gonna throw that shit out.
Okay. Yeah. Wait, hold on. Let me add this last thing too. The guy who does their, remember I told you that the guy who does their use of force. He's a use of force expert and he's a former cop or whatever. He does the training for those cops in that area. They had him on the news and he came out and said that he should have, what you said, he should have de-escalated. And the moment she said
because of the crime.
Right. Because of the crime.
What I was talking about.
Because the moment she said, I'll sign the ticket and go sign the ticket. This is the use of force expert. That's all I'm saying.
I'm using your word.
If I can drive this mic, I ain't pay for it.
He should have. He didn't have to. The law protected from doing it.
Lawfully, what he did was 100% right.
Like I said in the beginning.
It would have been nice if he did.
He was legally
right.
to do it. Morally wrong.
Yeah, it's like you can be right in an argument all the time and still be losing your life.
Until the case resolves.
Yeah, we're going to figure that out. We're going to figure that out. I'm going to be calling. But anyway,
I'll follow up.
y'all craziest firefight events. What's the craziest one you can think of?
What's the, like,
especially if it involves titties.
Let me know that. Yeah, y'all ever had like naked women come running out too?
Did women like firefighters? I don't know they used to.
I'll say this: when it comes to dealing with females, it's like the better looking female, they already got men around them they can call for help. So we don't be dealing with chicks that look good. You got to think about it. They got resources already. They already got men around them. So we don't really deal with aesthetically.
So y'all getting the ugly ones?
Yeah, they gotta go man. So there we go. Typically, just trying to sum it up.
Y'all had to do
the hotter the chick is, she already got a circle of guys that she can call.
Y'all ever been a woman that's 600 pounds?
We don't really be having.
Not in the fire. Because if they're that size and the fire's bad, the chances of them making it is pretty slim.
But I don't like how you said that though.
I mean, that's
you said it like you was like.
It's hard. Picture you dragging me from this wall to my car. Imagine having gear on. Now I'm 260. So imagine you said 600 pounds. I mean, it's hard. I'm wearing about 120 pounds of gear.
It ain't a situation when you run in and you see him like.
We left people in place like I had one maybe like 5 years ago. This dude was like at least 600, but we already knew this. Like we know our area, so you know the people. Like this dude was so big, like a queen size bed, like from end to end, he was filling it. And like one time we had to take him to the hospital, and the only way we got him out was we had to use actually straps and like basically we had to ratchet and basically make a taco out of it, like a burrito, pull his ass out that way, just to get him out the door. Like basically took the whole bed frame and just basically that was
with him in it. Like,
yeah, I mean he was in a lot of pain, but that was the only way we were getting him out. And that took like 45 minutes, and that was in perfect conditions.
Right.
Of course, in the fire, it's like as you know, you're gonna die.
So like I said, y'all gonna walk in and be like,
you can't do it. It's just not possible. It's just unfortunately. You
just fight the fire in the area, try to keep it away from him, and if not,
the number one way to make a house fire better is putting the water on the fire.
That's what I mean.
Take the hazard away from the person instead of trying to pull the person out. Just take the hazard out.
Okay, but my bad, we got away from it. What's y'all craziest firefight stories? It could be anything. Don't have to involve titties.
It's fair enough. I think mine was 2 houses on fire side by side, trying to battle which one.
It jumped?
Huh?
Did it jump?
No, I mean both houses. It's like a yard. It's between 2 houses. So this is one house and this wall right here is another house.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Did the fire jump from one house to the next one?
Yeah, pretty much. Probably something like a particle from a roof, right? Just went
if I was a neighbor, I'd
so yeah, this is about the size of this wall right here. This is fair enough how close the houses were. And then now you battling one house and you battling the second one. I think this house had a hole in the second floor. Thank God when the firefighter saw it before they walked through it. But that fire took some time. But no.
When y'all get them fire calls, like when they're actual like fire, do y'all get excited? Like is it
it's a little rush.
It's a rush because you gotta get your mind.
Is the job born?
No, because it's a little like it's like I'm a driver. He drives the truck. I drive the engine a lot, like the main driver out here. So like when you get a fire call, you gotta imagine we're into the job because it's like a man into his tools, like mechanics, like a thing. We not really care so much about just the fire more than we care about like racing to we literally race to see who gets to there. So that part in a sense. It's like, yeah, we're doing our job, but he knows after the fire, we all high-fiving and stuff. Now, granted, the person lost their house, but we still high-fiving. Like, yo, we came, like, we came over here, we got to use our training, and we have to get to use it to the best of our ability. That's just what we're here for.
Right.
I mean,
This is what we're here for.
And we're all going home, you know what I'm saying?
And we're all going home. So it's like, yeah, we came out here. It's an ideal age, which is immediate danger to life and health. And we went out there and we did our thing. We came back, and like you said, it didn't get worse. The thought process is we come to an emergency is it doesn't get worse. It just stops right there. And
when y'all got there, it got better.
It got better. That's the whole goal.
So my question, here's my thing: who? It's a fire inspector, the one that determines like if there was arson or something.
Yeah, fire investigator. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So a house at my old house, a house next to ours burned down. Right. Long story short, it was the baby mama burnt down the house. She thought remember I told you this. She thought the boyfriend and the daughter was in there, but the father was in jail, and he was in there. The daughter was in there with his mom. So grandma and daughter was in there. She burnt the house down. She had a key in there. So the only reason I know this story is because they woke us up. The firefighters woke us up. It's like, y'all gotta get out the house. Our house wasn't on fire, but because of how close the houses were, they was like, nah. Right. They just woke us up. Anyway, so they put the fire out. It took like an hour and a half, 2 hours, right? They put the fire out, and I guess the guy walks in. They start walking in and like hitting certain parts and stuff. And the dude is in there, and I'm talking about like maybe within 5 minutes, he comes out and it was like arson. He knew that quick. Like, I mean, between fire out and him saying arson was like 10 minutes. Like, what is that? Is it because it was in multiple places?
No,
like,
you can see a burn pattern if they use an accelerants like gas or anything. That it shows an obvious burn pattern that they go through training for like months to be able to see.
To point that out.
Yeah. So
he's like a specialist.
Yeah. You gotta go to school. You gotta go to school for that, and you gotta get like actual police academy. You gotta go to the police academy because you can give powers of arrest.
Oh.
Yeah, so you can come in there and actually detain. So he actually has to go to like DCJS or something.
Oh yeah.
Department of
Criminal Justice as well.
Yeah, stuff like that. So I would say the worst one for me was, I really want to say it's funny, but just the way it happened. But we were on an interstate for a car accident where this lady ran into the Jersey wall, flipped the car over. We get in there, she comes out, she's being irate, whatever. So we're trying to like figure out what's going on. Luckily she was able to get out. Eventually, we shut the whole interstate down. So we're trying to deal with this chick. So we finally get her on the stretcher. But once she was on the stretcher, she like, the EMT that was next to her, she like punched that girl, whatever, and she got off the stretcher, she took off. And when she took off, she hopped the median and actually got like hit by a car. Nah, so then we had to, like got hit by a car. On the other. No, because of the fact that it was just I think she was high on, whatever it was.
What was she high on? I need to know.
I don't even know. It couldn't be shrooms, I think it was.
Yo,
it was a white girl, and then she ended up surviving, but she just hopped of course that's why it's a joke now, but she was playing frog and almost lost. But like
she lost. She was still alive.
She just like in her 20s. But yeah, luckily we had to end up getting Nightingale, which is
she had
helicopter. Huh?
She had red hair?
No.
My bad.
I used to work with that girl.
No, it was a girl that at my job. Alright, well, yeah. Go ahead.
Y'all ever had to use the jaws of life?
All the time. We just used it last week for
I ain't never seen that shit.
Was that escalator?
There was one on. Was that? Oh yeah, they definitely used it on that when the car went into the water.
I saw the video.
Yeah, that was crazy. There was street racing on 32nd Street. I don't know why you would race on 32nd Street.
They weren't racing.
Or drag.
They didn't. They won't even drag racing. So the little story behind it is.
I don't think they were racing.
They weren't racing. All right. So the guy that passed away, he wasn't from here. He came up to do a business there. He met with a family. That family that was out there with him. He met with them to talk about business, their business deals, whatever, down in Florida or whatever. When they left dinner, I forgot where they left, but the dinner they left, him and the 16-year-old hopped in a Tesla, and then the parents hopped in the Tesla. And then they drove down the street. As soon as he made that turn, he punched it in the Tesla. Yeah. He's not from here. He didn't know that street had that
roundabout.
So as soon as he hit that, he went over. Now, the 16-year-old, when it was in the air, he unbuckled the seatbelt. So that's why he was able to get out.
What?
Yeah,
No.
So the dude who wasn't from here is the one that got it.
yeah.
Yeah, but what? So it was in the air, he unbuckled his, and then what? He jumped out?
Well, not at that time when the
They went in the water.
hit
Oh, it went in the water.
The problem was the water, so we had our own team in there. They had to go
30
in.
seconds.
Yeah.
And he was submerged for about 15 minutes.
What's 32nd?
Right, I mean,
Yeah.
my man told me about 15
What's
minutes.
32nd Street?
30 seconds.
At the ocean front.
What is that, Alaskan Road?
Yeah, it's Alaskan Road. It's basically Alaskan.
So you know if you go down Alaskan, as you're leaving, there's a roundabout.
So
He didn't know nothing about that
So what
roundabout.
water did he go into?
It's marsh.
On the other side is like a ravine or a little. It's part of the ocean though, really. I think.
One more question too about
Yeah.
this. Y'all, whatever city you work in, you gotta know the whole city, streetwise and whatnot. I'm like, I know y'all got GPS stuff.
I mean, we
But
got,
it's
we got
better
maps,
if
we got
you-
maps, you know, maps.
It's better if you know, so you
No
know
doubt.
exactly where the fuck.
Yeah,
you are.
yeah.
I mean, plus, but the officer on the right hand side is gonna have his own little computer, laptop.
Oh, so he can give you
can
step by
guide you.
step. Okay.
So what we do for preventative, like to be on top of our game, like playing a sport where you just have your game plan, like we pre-plan buildings, like big buildings that would be like danger to firefighters.
Yeah.
Those buildings we actually walk through every year to make sure like this would be our plan if we ever had a fire in this building.
This one. Yeah.
We don't really worry about houses and stuff. It's more like the big commercial buildings, because that's where.
That's gonna be a
When I
problem.
got in at 2008, we had like a couple Maydays where guys got lost in big. I don't know if y'all ever heard of that Allied Technology fire, that big one on the Virginia Boulevard. It was like 14 years ago. But yeah, we almost lost a couple firefighters that just lost. Because when you gotta imagine when you're in a fire, you don't see nothing.
It's dark.
You don't even know what's going on until the fire's out. And like, damn, that was a room, that was a living room, that was a. Because you don't know, you're just all invisible, and
Right.
until you see with the fire, you put it out, and it's usually after the fact that you realize what was actually around you. You have no clue.
Now it's hot as hell in them damn fires.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt.
What's the length of time you can stay in? I mean, like, how does that work?
30 minutes.
Our gear at the highest is like when it gets to flashover, which is I think it gets to about over 1100 degrees, like 2-3 seconds.
See, I did firefighter training. You know, they.
But when it gets to that hot, but we wouldn't
I
be
know you
there.
did
But
too, bro.
probably 2, 3, 4, 500 degrees.
One, you're not gonna be by yourself, so you
Yeah.
hot. If you like hot to where
In your
gotta
gear,
go,
you gotta get
your
out.
partner gonna feel that
Yeah.
same heat.
You get hot
You
in
gotta
your
ready,
gear.
it's too hot, we're coming out.
See, y'all better.
Ain't nobody gonna tell you to take in.
Now y'all mic'd up the whole time?
Yeah, everybody got.
You got radio.
Yeah, everybody got radio.
I was-
You have to know, key whatever, but it's not
Oh,
like
you
a
do?
mic whatever,
Oh,
right?
shit.
You know, we do that little shipboard fighting thing, right?
Right.
That's
so
hot.
I'm like,
That's hot.
I'm with this shit. You know what I'm saying? This shit gonna be easy. But you gotta,
Yeah.
in the Navy, you gotta learn to fight fires on the ship. Everybody
You
can
can't
fight
just
fire.
bring
Nah,
it,
that ain't no goddamn.
No, I'm just saying, because most people who do it aren't gonna be true. 9 times out of 10, chances are you're not gonna have to fight fire.
Okay.
But there might be something that happened on the ship, but you know what I'm saying. So, anyway, I'm going through the training thing or whatever, and they tell me the fire gonna be hot, you know what I'm saying? But while there's no fire, nothing, my thing's fogging up.
Yeah.
I can barely see all of that, right? So it's all fog.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill this, but everybody gotta get their chance on the nozzle and do all the jobs. So I'm sitting there chilling, and I see people. I'm watching because I'm on the other team, like whatever. Right now, I'm watching people, and they coming out of there like, oh, I'm like, bro, it's a controlled fire. Where you know what I'm saying? Like, calm down. I got on that nozzle, right? And the person holding your hand, or whatever. And whatever. If you got a problem, you tap them or whatever, but you never look away. Blah blah blah. They turned that motherfucker on. First of all the fog that was in my shit. That shit cleared up like God was like, look at this. I was like, oh, that shit immediate
That's how you
heat,
know it's
bro.
hot.
I was like, oh, I'm done. But as soon as they turned the motherfucker on, and I guess we were doing like a few minutes, but if you could stay longer, they'd be like, if you can, you know what I'm saying, stay. Get me the hell out of here, bro. It's hot as hell. And then the room is filled up with smoke, so you can't see. On the ship, it's enclosed space. I'm like, get me the hell out of here, bro. Then I had to do it again. We have to do aviation. You got to do like you fighting a bird and fire on a bird.
Yeah.
Same thing, bro. I was like, oh, nah, I ain't getting this time. Got me again.
No doubt.
So I don't know how people, like, when you got a team to show up, especially if no one else is there. I know there's multiple people gonna show up,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
if you fighting a fire, you in a sticky situation, you can't just be like, I'm not fucking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Fuck it,
Like I
fire.
said, everything gets better the minute you start putting water in the fire.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it goes down.
it's quick.
But like I said, if it's too much fire, too much heat, now we're gonna fight it now.
All right, so I before I yell at this, man.
Yeah, we don't have our cities out here. We don't have the issue like the big cities where they got to deal with like building collapses. And
See, that's
like you be firefighters, you hear all the time, New York, Baltimore, Detroit. There's always a firefighter dying in a fire from like collapse, or just because the building is so much old. Like Virginia Beach, half the buildings is built in like the 70s, 80s, 90s.
Yeah.
You know, we don't have like P-Town got some old buildings, but for the most part, we don't have the issue like the big cities. Like
Who has the better department? P-Town, Virginia Beach.
It usually comes down to just taxes and who has more revenue. It's really not better in a sense.
I think Beach is way more structured than the average department. Way structured than P-Town.
Would you rather be out here or where you at? I guess that's not a good question.
I mean, for what's that word looking for? Progression of career.
Yeah.
I think the Virginia Beach had that down pat. You know, I still, you know, I like Portsmouth. Half the citizens look like me. We're real laid back department, we're real family oriented, we're a small department. So everyone knows each other, the city's small. You know, Portsmouth, you see some stuff. I mean, at the end of the day, you don't want to see some stuff, but some, you know, those type of calls out there, somebody got to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Do y'all live in the cities y'all work in?
Yes.
I live in Virginia.
Yeah, I live.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's 15-minute ride, 10 days a month.
You can't beat it, man.
So before we got on, I asked y'all, I was gonna bring up a police case, because we were talking about police thing at the time, right? I want to bring up something before we get to the airport. Do y'all remember? If y'all don't remember it, then we can just skip over. But do y'all remember when a cop responded to a girl getting jumped? Right, it was a few years ago. A girl got jumped.
It was in the daytime.
With a knife? Yeah, she called the cops. But when the cop showed up, the girl who got jumped ran out with a knife towards the girl.
Right.
And went to stab her and he killed her.
Right, I remember that one.
What do y'all feel about that one?
Why are we talking about that?
Because you ain't shit. Why?
Once again, unfortunate situation. The cop, to me, was not in the wrong. You would like to see not use lethal weapon, but a cop is still a human being. The gun itself does not make him a Superman,
Right,
Superwoman, whatever.
or the authority of the man,
Right.
correct.
But once again, you're actually still a typical human being to come on a scene
And see
when
that.
he don't know nothing. So we knew, first of all, we never knew the narrative.
If we just saw what he saw.
Yeah,
right?
no one knew, including the officer, that girl was the one that got jumped. Because why would the person who got jumped approach the officer with the knife? Because she didn't have a weapon in her.
No, she didn't go to the officer. She ran to one of the girls that jumped her.
Oh, no. She went towards another person with the knife.
Yes.
So that cop, in his eyes, was protecting life, which he is paid to do.
Right.
Now, I kind of feel like now if she successfully did what she wanted to do and stabbed whoever she was trying to stab, now we're looking at the cop like, why didn't he stop? Why didn't he save her life?
There.
So once again, the cop did his job, and my thing is, it comes down to accountability. And my family members getting jumped, and obviously the situation kind of had to de-escalate at some point for you to go in the house, get a knife, and come back outside.
Correct.
Be accountable with your family members. Listen, you might have just got jumped, and I understand your emotions are high, but what you're not going to do is you're not going to make it worse. I already called the cops.
Especially when the cops are already.
So like I said, that's my family member. You know, I'm gonna clip you, I'm gonna trip you or something if I see you running towards them with a knife to save your life. You just survived,
Right.
jumped. Now a cop's coming on scene and you trying to commit a crime in front of a cop. I mean, that's just, you know.
Yeah. So I will say this: when it comes to training, I'm not here to talk about the cop. When it comes to training, we have to make decisions, even as firefighters, in split seconds. Now, granted, we ain't doing something that's going to be on the news, killing somebody. But when we do something that goes wrong, we can go back and do what the public does, which is Monday night quarterback, and go, well, he could have did this, he could have did that. What he did in that moment was his training, because you can't think. Training has to happen automatically, and that's your instinct. Like, basically, like, why can you point and he can't point? Well, you have an instinct to be able to dish the ball off.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's your skill. Whatever he did in that moment is what his training was. So I will say that from a standpoint of just him coming to a scene, like he said, it's already hectic. Blood pressure's up, because you got to remember, when we go on calls, our heart rates are up, fire, whatever. And then people are making decisions based on calm, y'all relax.
Right.
And then it's easy to go, well, why did he do this, why did he do that?
Hindsight's 20/20.
Yeah, it's like, so what he did, granted, what James said, if the girl would have died or whatever, got the knife, because more people die from, they say, blunt objects than guns anyway.
Right.
If that would have happened and killed her, then they'd be like, well, what did you do? Same thing with the cops at the school. Like, well, the school was being shot up. Y'all didn't do anything. Then the whole public goes, why y'all didn't do anything?
Oh, wait a minute.
No,
We're gonna keep going.
No,
I agree with you wholeheartedly.
No, I'm not trying to bring that into it, but saying like when you don't do something, and it's like, well, then it's like, well, I'm trying to.
Oh yeah, you damn.
I ain't trying to escalate.
You is actually.
What is y'all take on that?
Yeah, but I'll just say he did what he had to do.
We're on the same page. I agree with you.
Yeah, he had to do what he had to do.
He showed up. I had several issues with that whole situation. They know it already. But you got jumped, right? You called the cops, or her parents called the cops, which is her adopted. These people were, I don't think they cared about her, but
she called the cops.
Oh, it was her person.
Yeah.
Okay, so you called the cops.
I thought the girl.
I thought
the family called.
Nah, because they were the only ones in the house. The girls, they were the only ones in the house. So when they got the scrapping in the house, that's when she called the police.
Well, I mean, even if the girl called, I still feel like that accountability. Even if I don't love you like my blood, but you got to protect your family. You know what I'm saying? Grab her from doing something.
We think it's one of those situations where they were taking on. They weren't their biological kids.
Oh yeah,
taking on. You know what I mean?
For
They're
the
just
paycheck.
They don't give a fuck. That's my thing.
You can't get a paycheck if
So the thing stemmed out. This is how it stemmed out. It stemmed out from her living there with the foster mom. All right, she living there with the foster mom. I guess she wasn't doing what she was supposed to do inside the house. Two girls came to check her, not fight, check her and say, hey, you need to help mom out. You need to,
Oh, this was an in-house fight.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember now. Yeah, they were all.
That's when the fighting got in together. They get outside. It's a clown and another clown, a dude and a girl sitting there watching the shit happen. All right. Then, she got the knife and
ran out.
She got the knife. Yeah. The whole thing is the cop got out. Hey, hold on, what's going on? And seen her go to jail.
Remember that he said, "Stop! Put the knife down twice."
Yeah.
People act like they don't get hit.
Yeah.
I heard him say.
And so, but my thing is with knives, I don't care if you at the car and I'm in here. If you come towards me with a knife, you gonna get it, man. If I got,
I don't know if I can go that.
Because not knives.
But me personally, this is how I feel about if we at a distance. I mean, like we talking about.
That's what I'm saying.
The distance of a damn bus, an 18-wheeler truck. You can't come to me if I shoot your ass in the leg. I'm not shooting you in the upper body over no knife. Because when you got the vest on, I mean that's just me. I'm taking your legs out. You can't come in and get your leg.
So that's my training. See,
See, instinctive.
You went to
me in the Navy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, point shooting.
Cinematic.
Being in the Navy, you're not gonna pull your gun unless you're gonna use it.
True.
Let me shoot you in the leg.
All right, but that's not
cinematic.
That's it.
If you start
Because
cinematic.
if I shoot you in the leg, now you can sue me. So I need to go ahead and
Okay, that's not what they do.
No. That's why the police do what they do. That's why the police.
Because if I kill you, your family can still
Hold on. The thing is, what he's trying to say is he came out wrong. When you use deadly force, you don't use deadly force to maim a wound.
Yeah.
If you have to think, well, I gotta pull my gun and shoot someone, that means you had no other option. This person has to die.
And that's the difference between.
You shoot him at.
That's the difference
in the leg
between.
he live, you're getting sued.
That's the difference between the police and the military. You can't you better make sure you pulling your gun for a good reason. Because after it's all said and done,
you're gonna have to answer.
Yeah, you're gonna have to answer for that. Right?
I'm not saying shoot him in the leg because you just see him on a knife. I'm talking about him actually approaching you. You're saying you're supposed to lose.
So listen, so what they teach you in the military when it comes to a knife, that's more, like you said, more blunt objects. People get killed by more blunt objects than they do guns. Why? Because, and the reason why I say that car, and you coming towards me,
You can't put a gun out fast enough and shoot.
yeah, you're quicker. So I'm the engine. It's a wrap.
Well, once again, that's why I use the illustration of a bus, that type of distance.
Yeah, shit.
If I had that type of distance, and it took you like 10 seconds to get to me, that's more enough time to be on.
That's what I'm saying, but for
That
us,
split second,
For us, they tell us.
You're going to shoot till the subject is down.
Right.
No matter if it's lower body, upper body, no matter.
But I don't remember
Till the
if you
subject
know
is
this.
down.
For us, it was 3. It was opportunity, capability, and intent. You gotta have all 3 to kill one. All 3.
Yeah.
So for me, that's why I kind of disagree with you with the knife thing. Because for me, he has the capability to, right? He has the intent to, but he doesn't have the opportunity. You can't kill me with
Can
a
you
knife.
go up one level up?
From
Can you
a
go
bus.
one level up?
It's just a try.
Is it equal? Like if somebody has a threat, can I match it or go up one?
No, yes. If you come to me, like, I can match your level
Or
go
one
up.
up.
But if I go up, no. For the military, for me to go up, they have to go up. I have to match them. I can't go higher than them.
So if you show up to the gate and you got a weapon, you gonna catch it. You got a
I
knife,
can use a weapon.
you're gonna get shot.
But if I shoot you and you was unarmed, I don't know how the cops is. Military,
Yeah, that's
you're
a wrap.
done.
Yeah, it's a wrap.
You're through.
That's how it should be.
It's a wrap.
You're done.
That's how it should be.
If they find out you have a gun, and even if I'm legally okay to kill you, I have to prove capability, opportunity, intent, and justification.
That's a higher level of
That's like
accountability.
7 justifications.
That way.
I gotta do all
Yeah,
of
because
it.
then you just go, well, I felt like I was in danger. I can say that right now. I feel like you're endangering me.
Right.
See, cops get that kind of leeway.
Yeah.
Military, you don't get that leeway.
You don't get
Ain't no I
That's
felt.
how it should be.
Ain't, there's no I felt.
No, I like that.
And that's
Were these things
But like you
present?
said, if you're from a distance, you can't stab me unless you just.
That's what I'm saying.
But see, that's the thing. You think that, but
Yeah,
before you know it, from that, it don't take them long to
Right,
get to
I've read about that. Yeah.
21 feet.
Something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just like that.
21 feet, they can get to
You
them
can't
faster.
get-
Oh yeah, because I seen some dude do a demonstration on that.
You
He
can't.
had people coming. They had their gun holstered, and he was running out with a knife.
Yeah.
And most of the time,
It's
it's only a
all
few
right
people, but most of the time he was already
Stabbed.
his stab.
So-
before they got the
And it's
gun.
also how fast you are too. 'Cause
True,
my
that's-
process is quick.
Yeah.
But also, I'm not standing there while you.
Yeah, I'm about to say that's
If I need more time,
stationary.
I'm running from you too.
How about you do a sidestep or something?
Now I got you, Mr. Postman.
Yeah, like sidestep or something.
Because because when that incident happened, everybody was like, well, why he didn't taser?
You gotta
There was if you see that,
Yeah.
if you see that video, he literally has no time for deadly force.
Yeah.
When I'm watching the cam, when he goes to shoot, she's like this, and the girl's against the car. It's by this time, she got to get out of here.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, this is unfortunate, but he's only going with what he saw on the show.
Yeah, and he probably didn't. You don't wake up and go, man, I want to use my weapon
wanna
today.
shoot the
Like
fuck out of
you just
Yeah,
react.
when he got
And then the parents-
when he got out of his car, his weapon wasn't drawn yet.
No, it wasn't.
He took
And then his
like
parents, after he
10
shot her,
shots,
and then they said he didn't have to shoot her so many. What? After he shot her like 4 times in the chest, right?
He had to shoot.
After he shot her that many times or whatever. Now the parents gonna be like, you shot her, blah, blah, blah. I told her to stop.
All it takes is one good shot.
Yeah, and you're a driller.
So how
shooting, I don't
does
see
that-
this.
It's a sad story. For
Yeah.
it's a sad story, but I don't think that cop should be like punished.
One shot
But
to the chest
that was
would
a
do the
sad
trick.
story for the whole.
No. It's,
Anytime you gotta shoot it.
I get it. I mean, like if you let off a whole clip, it kind of someone kind of
The
stretch.
whole clip is what?
15. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, in that nature, they're like, man, what you go about?
Like-
4, I mean,
Yeah,
Well,
that's
It only
easy.
takes-
That doesn't take long.
That's for quick.
You didn't
Yeah.
you didn't like the way she was twitching at the 14th round? Like, what happened?
Yeah,
no,
don't
if
fuck
you
with knives.
goddamn
Or like the
one
video
go in
you
it,
showed me.
you know.
Remember the video showing me the dudes in the garage minding his business and they come in and like, put your hands up. He was like, oh shit, but he had something. What did he have in his hand?
Remote or something.
Yeah, it was something.
Oh no, he had nothing in his hand.
Yeah.
No, I thought he had his hat or
So
something.
maybe he had his phone in his
Or
hand
it was
because
something.
he was leaning up against
But
the
he put his
wall.
hands up
Yeah.
and they shot him because he moved too quick.
Yeah.
And he was like, then it was like, he falls to the ground holding his guts.
And they tell him to put
And
his
he was
hands
like, put your hands up. He's like,
But that wouldn't fly. That wouldn't fly in the military, though. Is what you're saying.
hell no.
No,
But
no,
that
no,
type,
no,
you
no.
couldn't justify that in the
no.
military.
Hell, you pull your gun out and hell no.
Yeah, nah. They make you think twice, and I tell my wife all the time,
Yeah.
man, like you should. That's what the police should go through.
Yeah, it should be simple.
But see, that's the thing though. In the military, there's been plenty of instances. I'm talking about the non-active combat people like us. There's been several instances where they didn't use the appropriate amount of force that they should have. I can't remember what instance it was. You probably heard about this, about that boat. They got close as fuck, but everybody was afraid to shoot because they didn't know if they were right. And it wasn't until the boat was like right on the boat, right on the ship, that they started shooting at the boat. when they should have been shot.
When did that happen?
This was in Florida. This was years ago, a long time ago.
So I
like
actually had an incident like that on deployment.
because you can't make people too scared to shoot.
That skiff rode up on us in the middle of the night, morning, like 5 o'clock in the morning. They didn't last, but yeah. The shit, like you can go on, because they got prosecuted here, because we was based here. And so, yeah, six Somalians.
See what I'm saying? And they scare you to death between shoot or don't shoot. They scare you. Yeah.
And that's good though, because that makes you, reevaluate.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's not frivolously you just shooting.
Yeah,
You ain't the Wild Wild West.
Yeah, you can't say, I was in fear of my life. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
that don't
you're
work.
just scared. You don't need that fear.
You don't need to be a police officer.
Yeah.
I definitely think in law, and I ain't saying law enforcement is easy, but I do think it's what you make it though.
Yeah.
I do too. I think every job's like that.
Yeah.
Except
Definitely,
for
like, see, I would be the police that,
That you would want to see.
because I ain't trying to do no paperwork.
That's my point.
I ain't trying to, you know what I'm saying? So I'm make it light and easy.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I couldn't be no fucking police.
Why?
Because of the good days and the bad days. It's
I'd
both.
rather be a firefighter.
No doubt. People actually want you to be there. See, the difference is,
Y'all are heroes.
the difference with police is they take away your freedom.
Yeah.
There's no way you're gonna have the same likability.
And it's not because I had something against them. I just couldn't do either part of the job. I couldn't do the killing part of the job, and I also don't want to do the I have to protect part of the job. The paperwork, that's a whole nother one right there. Like that California shootout where the motherfuckers' bullets was bouncing off, and the one cop who got shot 3 times, but he had to stay there to let other. It's not me though.
I mean,
I'm out with you.
And then we gotta understand too, just as firefighters, we got your A-type, top of the line firefighters, you got your piece of shit firefighters.
Right.
But the thing is, those piece of shit firefighters don't get called out because they're not in the public limelight. The job gets done.
Right.
But we gotta be mindful that cops, there are gonna be some people that just horrible at their job. I'm sure y'all all been around people that garbage at their job, but they still end up being on the news and this, but this is not the representation probably of the whole department.
But also, everybody isn't trying to be an expert on y'all jobs.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, if 2 firefighters walk into a building and say, y'all will know one of them is fucking up.
That's
like,
true.
unless it's egregious, I won't know if he's fucking up.
And that's fair.
I'll just think he's doing something he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
But a cop, everybody studies and hears what they're supposed to do, what they're not supposed to do.
Yeah.
So everybody's an expert most of the time when it comes to a cop.
We burn a whole house down like that. That's a good job y'all came out.
You could literally lose the whole house and all the children in it, and they'd be like,
Man, you showed up.
tried they best. You know what I mean? Like,
No,
not knowing that y'all could have fucked this up.
100%.
We don't know. Like,
And even on medical calls it happens. There's actually more deaths from medical malpractice than there is like ever for
see, I wouldn't even know it.
by far. People die in medical.
These hospitals, they give out lawsuits all the time.
Oh yeah, it happens all the time.
Yeah, they just like to check and keep it.
Yeah,
Because it's per capita. Like.
Because it's not under a microscope.
Yeah. And once again, I don't know if that nurse did wrong or not.
Exactly. I've seen people give the wrong med and actually fuck the patient up. Just literally gave the wrong med. Or give too much of a med.
And then you know what's crazy is because my cousin was a pharmacist or whatever, and she used to tell us all the time, you get as a pharmacist you get one time. You give somebody the wrong drugs, that's it. You could have been a pharmacist for 20 years. You get one fucking time. And some of the drugs got long names, and there's only a few letters that's different. You got one time. That's why it takes so long, and they sold 1, 2. Don't give them the wrong anything. Because all they got to say is, they gave me the wrong drug, or if they supposed to get 15, you gave me 16. Oh, the reason I OD'd is because they gave me an extra pill. And you're done. One time.
They're just going to have to give the PD higher pay and just have a higher level minimum because the situation is so tough. You got average people with average intelligence doing complex job that has required a lot of thinking. That, no offense, you get guys, you don't even have to have a degree to get
I do think police academies are way too short.
Yeah, it needs to be a little longer.
Do y'all feel like y'all firefighters need more money? I mean, really, do y'all need more money?
It's hard to say me. I'm going as far as say deserve because we're doing things. We're doing things that people. And nothing compare. PTSD is a real thing. I just seen a lot of people in different fields, mostly military, that claim that PTSD and they didn't see anything.
Right.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
Because I didn't seen
Domestic
babies shot.
more.
I didn't seen teenagers shot. I didn't seen dead burned up human beings.
Yeah. Decapitated bodies. All the time.
There's no day that separates us on this day. You won't see that. You can see it every day. You can see it every hour, and nothing in this world is going to stop that. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of feel like as time goes on, I think things are getting better. Like mental health, a lot of crisis groups getting started up. PTSD bill got passed for the firefighters, for public safety. Just everyday life, like we're here for everybody's worst day. You know, people obviously when you call 911, obviously nothing good is happening.
But realistically, to that point, y'all get more pay, right? Which I agree you should. But hear me out. Usually when it's a job that's paid by tax dollars, right? Any job in that type of field.
Yeah, I know where you're going with it. I agree.
No, but I'm saying usually, no, I might not. Okay, usually when it's paid by tax dollars, a lot of times, even though majority of America might say we should give firefighters more money, they deserve it. There has to be fruits of labor. What can you show me result-wise if I give y'all more money that'll look different? Because it won't look different to us. Because hear me out. For the money you're getting right now, am I going to get better firefighting out of you for more money?
Your department can reflect that.
With what they purchase, right?
What do you mean purchase?
Like you can get better tools or better equipment, and better, more leave or more vacation, stuff like that. But are you going to fight the fire?
More equipment. Let's say my air pack. We can have enough air for 55 minutes. It's not gonna go 55. It's gonna be like more like 30, 35 minutes.
Down quick.
You give me a bottle you replace that 55-minute bottle with it's not realistic, but 2-hour bottle.
Right.
I can still knock that fire out in 5-10 minutes probably. If it's that type of fire, you get what I'm saying? So better equipment at some point doesn't really matter. Maybe from my it's more for my well-being. You give me a better pack that sits on my body well. Now I have
More
less back
comfortable.
problem. Yeah.
Okay.
But the efficiency of
Firefighting.
yeah, I mean that's something that your city council and your fire department can come together and says, look, what are we doing to make sure we have the best care and efficiency from our staff?
But that's what I'm saying. If they were to give you more money, you're not fighting the fire any better or worse just because you got more pay, right? So where would be the fruits of the labor to prove, to say the citizens?
I don't do it like that.
I feel you, but this how they do it.
It's hard to pay. I get what you're saying. It's hard to do that.
What is this money doing?
So I'll give you, actually, to your point, I'll give you a perfect example. They look at us and go like, well, why is firefighters getting paid this much? They don't get education like the teachers. The teachers got a bachelor's degree. They more educated. They should get more money. They start playing games where like, well, you're at the station. You guys sleep a lot. You're at the station at night. These people have more education. Y'all only gotta have high school diplomas, and then they start thinking that we're doing the same level of job.
Right.
Well, my job is going to cause me to have sleep deprivation because we wake up. He knows I'm at a busy station. I don't even get to sleep. You got to be sleep. Bell gets up. You got to be ready to go. So you don't get sleep. You work long hours. You got to do mandatory. Now, granted, teachers need to get paid more, but they get off the whole summer. They got the spring breaks.
There's no comparison.
So they try to compare. That's what they do. They'll go, well, why is an assistant principal not getting paid as the same as his master
The
firefighter?
city council is going to do that.
But yeah, they're like, well, she makes 90 with a master's degree. This guy makes 90 high school diploma. Yeah, but this guy is in the ideal. He's risking his life to do a job. It's a little more dangerous.
But that's
and I get your.
But they play the game with the public.
A job like a city job, the taxpayers paying. There ain't that many positions in the city that someone's putting their life on the line.
I agree. I agree.
Right. So my thing with that is, when it comes to food labor, there are stories that you would, you ask a question. You ask a question. What's your craziest thing? That question, that answer can go
a million different ways.
Different ways. Just matters how. Let's say I come back from vacation, my mind is clear. Man, I get a crazy call this day. Crazy calls just hit you different. Like some calls that you won't think that affected you a year ago. Like now you see that shit in your sleep.
Like kids.
I think it was in it was last year, October. Much prior to October, I had a gunshot, teenager, a couple shots to the head. in October, I was sleeping with I was in the bed with my lady, and I was talking in my sleep, and she told me, and she's like, I was talking in my sleep, she was like, no, I know what it was, my phone rang. It's like a scam call, whatever, so I just heard, so she was like, who's that? I was like, probably the kid from the other night.
And this is in your sleep?
Yeah, this is my sleep. So I was like, yes, what mean? It's a kid I was telling you about. So the next morning, she's like, you know, you was talking to Scott. I said, what was I saying? She was like, you kept saying from the kid you took to the hospital the other night. The only kid I had which was about 2 months prior. And after that,
shoot somebody multiple times.
I mean, and after that, I literally went on vacation, like within 2 weeks from that. You know what I'm
that's
saying? Like, but that's a call that I didn't think that would affect me. Now I'm talking about it in my sleep.
And you didn't, yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, picture a teacher.
You're not exposed to like my first call in the fire department. My first call.
You know, that kid, man, he felt the shit out of that time. Nah, that's not. It's the stuff that you would never know, and that stuff you can't explain. I can't go to. It's hard to go to city council. I didn't even want it because this happened to me. But at the end of the day, somebody got to do it. And the city would be out of luck if we did not have the proper staff. The citizens are paying for it, not. You know what I'm saying? Not nobody else but the citizens.
They're just approving it.
Yeah, right. And what makes the city look good is your public safety. Because when it comes down to big news, like the shooting we had at the courthouse, well then we had a good response there, and we were in there, and we were able to do what we had to do, and then when it goes well, the city looks good, a reflection of that, not necessarily some of the other city jobs that are not on the, because it's not an emergency. But I'll tell you this point, my first call in the fire department was a triple homicide. Vehicle accident. It was my first call. Like literally came in. It was like, and obviously I had to have like a little bit of like therapy and stuff like that. They have in place anyway for kids. And my younger brother, just another one. My brother, he's 22. He just got Virginia Beach Fire Department. So now you know, trying to following in his brother's footsteps. And then he had like a call where like it was like a baby, and he came to me. And this is how we get through stuff. Firefighters talk. He was like, hey man, I was on a call, man, an infant, you know, it passed away. He's like, oh, I mean, what do you do? First thing we always tell him, man, you gotta remember, we don't get the call until after the fact. So if the emergency start, we're delayed. Well, the baby could have not been breathing for 10 minutes, then they call 911, then we get there to start intervention. So I was like, bro, you only can control what you can't control what you can't. So you just gotta get the best, you know, they teach you just to do the best you can for the job and just do the best you can. Sometimes the outcome's already decided before you get there. Like you said, shooting, the person's probably going to most likely be dead before you even get there. But if you take that personally, you just won't last in the job.
Yeah.
You just can't last. You can't last. So.
Have y'all ever heard go ahead, Marcus. I'm sorry. Y'all ever heard the horror stories of, like, okay, so you know 9/11 and whatnot, right? Y'all both.
Yeah, I remember that.
Y'all heard the horror stories of the firefighters from all that?
Oh yeah, they got the documentary.
Right, okay, so you've seen that. With them fighting fire, doing all that, people coming from different areas, and then a bunch of them getting cancer, getting sick from the ash, and they're not getting medical treatment.
Yep.
There's stuff like that where, what is y'all medical, are y'all being
so they have
treated, you know, great?
I mean, it's still a good topic. I mean, but that scenario, so.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah,
but I'm saying y'all personal is your
medical. We're talking about most people that died, just the people that died alone. That's a whole department in some cities. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
then you got another staff that were sick.
Yeah.
That's still a whole department in some cities. All firefighters that got sick, that's more firefighters than my city has is on the staff.
But here's my thing, do y'all feel protected?
So they passed this bill.
It's getting better and better.
Yeah, so they passed a bill where it's called the presumptive cancer, where it's presumed, because this wasn't a thing. So let's say you had lung cancer. Before, you had to prove that not only did a fire cause lung cancer, you got to prove which fire caused it. It's like you being smoking cigarettes. You can't say the cigarette caused you to smoke cigarettes. You got to tell me which cigarette caused it. You've been smoking cigarettes for 20 years. So now it's called the presumptive bill, where if you're a firefighter, we just presume that you were doing the job 20 years, you got cancer from your job. But that should have been common sense years ago. It's just now.
They were screwing me.
Yeah, they're like, oh, well, you got
it's definitely.
So they added like testicular cancer, lung cancer,
because y'all are breathing in.
Throat cancer.
I know y'all have stuff on, but by nature of what you do,
yeah, it gets in your skin.
It's over.
Yeah,
exactly.
So they put that in.
Better. And like I said, they're helping out. Like right now, soon when we signed up to get tested for cancer, like it costs like $200. Yeah, tests usually cost about $1,500 to $2,000, but we're getting it for $300.
That's
yeah, they're all about it, man.
Safety,
and then like you said,
this way you know.
Yeah, we're going the right direction. Definitely going the right direction.
Nah, I just wanted to comment. You were saying something about PTSD with the military.
Right.
You say you don't like when they claim it and haven't seen it.
I mean, I got friends that claimed it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I can't deny. Now, if there's a loophole, go and get it.
I think what happens is when people think PTSD, they think
Like a trauma related type thing.
Right, something that.
So there's different levels. Obviously.
Right. So it's not always something gruesome.
A certain incident.
Yeah.
Right.
Anything can trigger anything.
Right.
My wife, all right, for instance, she worked on a team, the Tomahawk team. You know, they send us or whatever. And so she kind of got PTSD from that because she knew she just sent this missile off the ship.
And you know what it's doing.
And you know where it's going. You know, that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't always
right.
Oh,
Of course.
And so then that also, military owes everybody that's in there. So if you can scam to get that money, get it.
Hear me out though.
I don't even think it's a scam.
I get what he's saying, but I also get what you're saying.
They owe you all the money because you fight for the country and you do what you do.
Yeah.
You put your life in all types of shit.
Yeah.
They owe you all the money. They owe y'all the money because who else is
Same
going
here.
out here saving lives?
But that's my thing. To your point, to his point, what I'm saying is, yeah, okay.
Don't scam. Get the help. Let's make sure we get the help too.
Right.
Don't just take the check and say, "Oh, I got it."
Yeah.
My thing
that is a scam.
You don't know what people have been through or what triggered. Right. So to
But I have
say,
a question
oh,
for
y'all
you.
faking it, I don't know. But I do know. I know for a fact there are people that have told me I'm fucking faking it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I
exactly.
get both sides.
But my thing is, and I'm
It
not
needs to come
trying
with
to compare.
treatment.
It needs to come with treatment though.
It needs
Don't
to
just say I'm
follow
collecting the
up.
check.
Yeah.
What about your actual mental state?
Hey, listen. Some people go far now. I know some people
No,
that
no.
they didn't have the doctor touch their balls because they claimed it and they see it through.
Yeah.
They gotta see it through.
I got a question for both of y'all though. My question for both of y'all. So we got a firefighter in the department that is medically discharged from the military with full benefit from the PTSD, and now he's a full-time firefighter working. What do you think about that? Like,
And you
how?
gonna lose it?
No, he ain't losing it because they can't talk about what his previous. But this is where we talk about the scam stuff. This man, he brags about it, but it's like, yo, you say you got PTS, but you're doing the same job.
I'm gonna
the
tell you how I
same,
look at that.
Right.
the same things. Like, what do y'all think about that? Like, you leave the military, but then you come to the fire department, and you're like, well, I got 100%
He beat the
medical.
system. He beat the system.
He used it. The system was provided.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's a loophole. It's a blatant loophole.
Okay, he's using the system
Yeah,
to his advantage. And to offset it, he's coming to be a firefighter.
But at the same time, like it's the same
So
thing between.
he's obviously, I mean, you can call it like he may get his karma one day too, because he's obviously.
But once again, that goes to the
But
that
it
goes
would
to.
seem like once they find out.
But that right
You
there.
can't touch that. Yeah.
But this is my point.
No,
And like I said, my main thing is not to say that I am or he is or firefighters in general are just the elite profession. Even to compare to military teachers, whatever. But there's no limit to what we see
Correct.
on a daily basis.
And nobody's checking the box.
I can work my 10 scheduled 24-hour shifts and see nothing. I can pick up one 12-hour shift
And
and
see
be
it
like,
all.
fuck.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But there's no limit to
You
what
can't
we
prepare
see.
for it. There's no.
And I think it's crazy the loops that we have to go through, even though things are getting better, the loopholes
To
that we
get
got to go
to
to.
what the
to
military
help.
gets.
Yeah, to get to the
Because
military.
ours is very reactive.
But-
We're not
But
proactive.
I would hate because I'm passionate about my profession. I'm passionate about what I do. I'm proud about what I do. A lot of people can't do what I
You
do.
feel like a hero? Like
Yeah, sometimes, not that, I feel like,
Yeah, just making it
I feel like
different.
I'm blessed to make that difference. I'll say blessed. And I'm cool with the hero type, but
You got a lot of
I don't want that sensitive type, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
Yeah,
But
I let people call us that, but never myself.
But like the whole, like I said, I mean, not to go too heavy on you, but when you use that word scam, we're talking about the country. I'm cool with it. There being a loophole to get it. Would I be in that situation? Would I take it? Probably. But I'm just not gonna be like, oh, I got it.
But I understand it, but it's always layers to it. And this is why I say this. when I asked y'all about the 9/11, y'all said they're getting better because they make mistakes. They fucked those firefighters. Right? Essentially, their families, they were fucked. And these people are dying, so there's no way to fix it, right? And they try to make it better. The thing with the military and all these people scamming, what they're doing is, or if you want to say scamming, they're using a system that, in the same thing like those firefighters, back in that day, before us, they were fucking people. People were really going to, I'm talking about actual war and coming back and couldn't get a dime. They were homeless.
Right.
You fought a whole war
People in general,
and the government said.
I think there's millions of people in general versus construction.
So what they're doing now, what we are benefiting from, or our people, not us, but we're benefiting from.
People in the workforce, period.
We're reparations. That's what they're doing.
I can walk. Looking at that perspective, I'm cool with that.
And so the people now, they're right.
Like there's someone right now getting screwed over, and they did everything the right way, did the paperwork the right way.
When I first filed my disability, there was a man in there who I can't remember what he was. I'm talking about. He's like 90 something. This man is like at 60. I walked in the door and got 30, and then 2 months later went up to 50. He's at 60 and he fought in actual, I never fought, I like combat, you know what I'm saying? I was on a ship when he was fighting. He's in combat and he's fighting because he came from a generation that they said, fuck y'all. There's too many of y'all all shot. Fuck them. You know what I'm saying? So they're trying to make up for what they fucked up. They're being held accountable. That's all this is.
So right now, they just shot down a bill to help military folks that was whatever kind of poison and shit that they shot up in the air. They're not giving them the benefits for whatever fucking disease or cancer shit they had. They just shut that shit down. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I'm with you now.
So we gotta eat. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you gotta get what you want.
But the system, to your point, the system will never be right because you're gonna have people who get benefits who technically by the letter of the law don't deserve it. And then you're gonna have people who deserve these benefits and they're not. They're gonna. I've seen these people. I've seen people go through a bunch of bullshit in the military. And I'm talking about like piano fell on his leg, broke both legs in the military, type shit like that. He can't get a dime from these people. And then I some people who they chief yelled at him, and they got 100% walking out the door. You're never. It's not a perfect system. There's nothing you can do. So yes, to your point, there's people scamming this shit. But to your point, there's people who deserve that shit. And like you said, every day you don't know. There's shit that the bad shit, like you said, there's shit that people go through in the military that's more psychological than it is physical. So some of you can't gauge what he can deal with. I can't. And there's some things I can deal with. He can't. But they treat you all the fucking same.
Coming out of there with PTSD, they treat you like shit. So that gotta do something to you.
And not like perfect example. Some of the shit you seen, I probably could. I can't deal with. Like I can't deal with kids. Like I'm done. Bro. You get what I'm saying?
Individual. So I done been on 2 ships where my first ship, it was a hanging.
On your ship.
On the ship.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And then my second ship, there was a hanging in Japan. I was in Japan. You know, so, and you know what happens? They take the body down, put them on a stretcher, take them out, and the room is still there. You can walk past.
You can't get rid of it.
No. You know what I'm saying? So, like,
y'all do have the highest suicide rate in the profession, period. Now you know that.
The man got his head chopped off. Remember I told you that? He got his head chopped off on the flight ops. They said, damn, this is fucked up. Sent the plane off, got his body parts. They made the people that were just working on the flight deck pick up his body part pieces, because that's FOD for the next jet they got on. Pick up all these pieces, put them in a bag, send it off to medical, and then they came out, did a little spiel. Hey, this is what we do. We got to keep going. Kept flying. Like, this man didn't just get his head chopped off in front of everybody. But the one thing they did do, they said, hey, if you need to go downstairs and talk to the chaplain and medical, go. But otherwise, we gonna keep flying and right back to work. You see what I'm saying? That person, one of the people who saw that, could be fucked up.
not even saw it though.
But they could be afraid to say something like, or knew that was your homeboy. He just got his head chopped off. And they talking about, hey, you need to man up, go back on watch. And you know what I'm saying?
And then order is order. You got to follow that chain of command. That's what I'm saying. Like us, we have the ability to quit. So y'all signed a contract.
And some difference a little. They told them
trap.
They told them then, if you need to go downstairs, but everybody don't process grief that way. Some people it takes a little.
And some people are embarrassed to ask for it.
Exactly. So they stayed there, kept working, and then it hits them like, my homeboy just, like, you get done working, the back, like, you're not flying, my homeboy just died. That opportunity that you asked for is gone. Now, you look weak. Like, you got to go back to work.
That's a different element.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if you don't go to work, somebody got to take your spot. Say you did go down, like, I need to see somebody. Somebody got to work harder for you. I remember, and I'm going to look like an asshole. It's my last story. I remember a dude, him and his wife was trying to get pregnant. And he was in my shop, right? I'm not going to say his name. He was in my shop. And this was their second time getting pregnant. And she lost that day. But me, I'm walking in the shop. And we had one day, it's 12 on 12 off underway. One day we had a 4-hour watch. And the next day, which is your on day, you had 2 4-hour watches. So one day I'm working 4 hours and I'm chilling. I'm just on call for the rest of the day, chilling, playing video games. It was my 4-hour day. So I walk in and they like, hey, you got watched 3 times today. Nah, y'all looked at the bill wrong.
That's the fucking worst.
Y'all looked at the wrong bill. 12 hours. Bitch, we got 2 and 1. How the fuck I go to 3? You know what I'm saying? Like, so they like, nah, we got some shit going on. Bro, I'm cursing. Got me fucked up. Like, curse shit, this is my off day. And then I'm like, what about tomorrow? You got a double tomorrow. So I got a double, triple, double? Nah, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so they going on, I'm going off. I go all the way. I ain't got a choice. I go to watch. They not telling me what's going on. So I'm in watch, I'm mad. I come down. I'm still mad from watch when I get done. I come in the shop. There's some bullshit, blah, blah, blah. Everybody looking at me like I'm wrong. That I just got fucked. And they was like, oh, the reason you had to stand watch is because so-and-so, they lost their baby today. And he just found out. I was like, y'all should have said that. You know?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all would have told me that.
Yeah.
But there's rules, there's HIPAA rules and shit.
Yeah.
It was a courtesy that he told us that. He didn't have to, and you can't spread that without getting in trouble. If
I see that, yeah.
They fucked me and they couldn't tell me why. You're fucking oh well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's just how it is. You don't know the day to day what's going on.
Yeah. Shit, I done received weapons back from where a motherfucker done committed suicide in the army.
Oh, you was a GM, huh?
Yeah, still got shit on it.
Yeah.
And they do their investigation.
Keep it moving.
Here you go. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
It's different levels.
yeah.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
But I'm with you on that.
But it's motherfuckers.
It's
motherfuckers.
I'm still a big believer. So like I said, I'm not trying to backtrack, but I am a believer that this world is rigged. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Get it when you can.
Yeah, gotta eat.
It's a rigged
And
world.
it's a system. And I'm telling you,
If you don't
every
smash
job,
it,
the firefighters, us, you being a business owner, they gonna try to rob every dime from them being an entrepreneur. Their system is made to make money. It's made to help them in a few places, but it's made to make money and get what it can out of you. So you have to get what you can out of it legally to a certain
Right.
point.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm with you on that.
And if the rule allows what you
Gray
do,
is gray.
the rule. There we go.
That's right.
Grays and dark shades.
Y'all, some shout outs.
Yeah.
Let them know, like, let the people know how to get on.
Oh, no doubt.
Whatever info. I got a few people that's interested, so I think it's
Yeah, we probably have another academy. I mean, right now the process closed right now, but it'll probably reopen in another 4 months. But I could definitely get up with you when that happens and be able to at least say, hey man, next week the application is coming out, so then I'll give you the info.
So y'all have
now that I know it's straight from high school, I definitely want to.
I was gonna say, anything they need to have on the resume, anything that looks good to give them a shot.
Yeah, so usually, the best thing sometimes is like you can do a ride along. You can actually fill out the paperwork, come to the station like, hey, I'm a young kid, I just want to ride along. And you actually can get on the fire truck 4 or 5 hours and run calls with us and be like an actual watch. So that's usually the best.
And that looks good because they remember you.
Yeah, because they like people like, oh man, this kid was cool, da da da, and then it brings you you start getting real time like how the process works. Because then you're dealing with the people that went through it, they can tell you directly like, yo, do this, do that, do that, do that. So if you come there and then you start getting all the nuggets.
And in the interview, you can start talking that language.
Yeah. So it just helps just to come and do a ride along. It's free. You don't got to do nothing. Just fill out a form. Come on. People don't even know that because it's very city taxes.
Yeah.
You want to come on the truck. You just got to fill out a form.
Like they had to volunteer ambulance people.
Yeah.
So like I said,
I didn't know that. I'm gonna do that one day.
Yeah, no doubt.
And I'll say too, because at the end of the day, I don't want to see no one going through depression or stressed out, just not bored, at the end of the day, not happy with their job. So I would say, one, volunteer to make yourself look good, but also to see if it's actually for you. Because I mean, my first day as an EMT volunteer, I only had 2 calls in 12 hours. My first call ever was a cardiac arrest in Lynn Haven Mall. It was a lady, I think she was working at Taco Bell or something, but she was just big lady. We was in there just working her. She didn't make it. We got a post back, but I found out she didn't make it. Like 5 hours later, we delivered a baby in someone's bathroom in the house. So like lost her life and got her life. That was my first time. And right then and there, it was just confirmation that it was
I delivered a baby too.
That would have been my first and last day. You got fucked up.
Like I said, you know, but so the stuff that I see now is nothing to
So
me.
you delivered a baby before?
The first day.
Yeah, I had 2.
No,
Probably
sir.
now, probably about 5 now.
What the fuck that mean? You know what happened with my babies being born.
You passed out.
I wasn't there. I'm not. No.
So he did you a favor.
I would have been in the room. I can't even watch a video of that shit. I'm not watching that, bro.
I don't know. I don't know. I've never fainted or nothing, but I don't know.
So what you do is don't look down.
Yo, just
That's it.
on her.
Yeah.
See, my homeboy was in there with his
I
wife.
want to look down anyway.
They had 2 babies. For the second one, he was in there with his wife, right? It's a funny story, a quick story. He was in there watching, and this is his second child. He saw the first one. And he was like, damn, I don't know, I'm feeling kind of lightheaded, right? Of all the people in there, only the doctor and the nurse stayed with his wife. Everybody else in the room came to him. Slid a chair, sit down, blah, blah, blah. No, don't get up, blah, blah, because once he said he was lightheaded, they like, nah, you're not about to pass out, and we got to deal with this and this, so they sit down, get some water, blah, 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 blah. He was like, oh, thank you. And she over there, trying to push it down, she was like,
I don't want to be that guy.
right.
Like I say, it's like every city in general, Hampton Roads, they usually do a hiring process every 4 to 7 months. Hey, the process open, it stays open for like a month or 2. So you have to go to every city, like Google like the city of Portsmouth, you get the city website, city of Virginia Beach, and you
just
see
wherever
what
you
job.
get on.
And sometimes they even have a system to where you can put your email, you get notifications when the process opens up.
Okay.
Because the city's like
that way it comes to you instead of you having to check every day.
Another point we didn't add is like a lot of firefighters also have a lot of second businesses because we have them 20 days off. So you get firefighters, electricians, plumbers, like even some lawyers. Like all types of different, like got real estate, got the landlords, they own their own companies because they can work, like the one you saw at 17 at Sandbridge. But some of them, there's a guy over there that owns a pool cleaning company. He's probably a millionaire. He's probably a millionaire, and he sits there and he does a lot of his work there because they don't run no calls. So that's another thing that
there's some perks.
There's some perks. You can work on a lot of sides. So you get connected. There's a lot of people that know. There's no way you can't get nothing done.
Yeah.
Somebody knows something or does something on the side.
That's smart.
Yeah, so there's a lot of that.
Shit, man, I appreciate it.
Hey,
no, man, I appreciate y'all. Man,
Hey, thank you for saving the community.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, sir. No doubt.
I don't want to fight the fire.
No doubt.
Pleasure.
Mohicans, man.
Nah,
Last
appreciate
hero.
it,
Appreciate y'all for sure.
Shout out.
I got nothing, man.
Only peace and love.
Yeah, I just shout out just real quick with the, Cutting Up podcast. Like, when I was thinking, when you say you started a podcast as a barber, I was like, man, the barber is like the first line, like in the community where you got a person you can talk to, have conversation, even if you're having a bad day, relationship.
That's
what I was thinking about. So when you said doing a podcast, like, yo, that's dope because like a barber is connected to the community in so many ways. Mentor kids, you can tell them, hey man, I did wrong left, but you can do this.
Watch the big booty bitches survive.
No doubt. So
that's what it's all about.
yeah, so it's like no doubt, like it's already happening. Now you're just putting it on the video.
Right.
Big ups to you doing that.
Yeah, so I appreciate that, man, because that's this is power, social media.
Hopefully they see you and get some more firefighters.
No doubt. Definitely shout out to y'all.